ahead. You must keep pushing. And always have the courage to be yourself.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
But from today and from the day I take the oath of office, we will rapidly drive prices down and make America affordable again. We're going to make it affordable again. So as much as you can, do something that you love, work hard, and never, ever give up, and you're going to be tremendously successful. Tremendously successful. Thank you. God bless our military. God bless the memory of the fallen. God bless our Gold Star families. And God bless America. Thank you very much.
Hopefully we're back here. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. This is absolutely crazy. But anyway, we're going to try our best to get through this today. Not sure why every time we go on, Rumble tends to lock us up, and I don't know. It's just getting crappy. Anyway, happy Thursday. Hopefully on the radio you guys can hear now. It was all messed up on there too. I don't know what was going on. As soon as I clicked on the Rumble and went with YouTube and Rumble, it started messing up the radio. Anyway, happy Thursday. We are back. Let's see here. DeSoto, Missouri in the house. You need to have a couple back up here. Actually, we do. Welcome back, DC. Okay, on YouTube now. Yeah. Commies, yeah. Oh, you're over the target. Yeah, exactly. You have no idea. Albany, Texas. New Mexico again. Cartersville, Georgia. Texas in here. It's going so fast. Newburgh, North Carolina. Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Dalton, Georgia. Freeport, Pennsylvania. I think it's a new one. Indiana in the house. Hendersonville, Tennessee in the house. Awesome, everybody. Sorry for the delay. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Out of my control. Hello, South Carolina. We'll get started here today. The shooting yesterday was absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. Washington doesn't want us to know anything today. Yeah. You'd be shocked. You'd just be shocked what's going on. But there's we got the shooting that went on, and you got that kid that did that, and a couple of things I'll touch on here in just a little bit. But it is a tragedy that happened. That's absolutely horrible. Horrible that happened. Hello from McAllen, Texas. Hello to you. Good to have you here today. But the shooter, I mean, he's just a kid, for God's sakes. And when things like this happen, I know, first of all, us conspiracy theorists are like, false flag. And, and honestly, we don't know these days. There's so much crap going on, and you don't know from day to day what's going to take place. After I went off yesterday, had two people send me an email that says, do you think that what you said yesterday caused what happened in Chicago? No, I seriously doubt that there's gangs listening to DC going, hey, let's just go do this. But actually some gangs yesterday was pulling up on immigrants and just shooting them in the head, right there on the streets. And no, that's not because of me. Distractions. You better believe it. You better believe it. And it takes our eyes and our minds off of what's going on in the election. Now, don't get bent out of shape at me. Don't get bent out of shape and be like, oh, well, he's just, it's all about the election. It's all about that. And he don't even care about these kids. He don't care about, yeah, I do care about them. My daughter is a school teacher, and first thing this morning, she texts me and she says, she's not in that area or anything like that. She's in a different state. She was just like, Dad, there's cops crawling around everywhere in here, outside, everywhere. And you know what? That's fantastic. That is just fantastic that they got cops everywhere. But it's too freaking late. Law enforcement, all law enforcement, period, doesn't matter what they're in. They're always taught to be proactive. And that's what I've been saying the past couple of days. Our police are bums. I mean, not everybody, but a lot of them want to sit on their butts in their cars and collect the check and wait for retirement. They don't want to engage. And they don't want to do it. It's too much money to put resource officers out at the schools. But yet we can pull money out of our butt and send it to Ukraine. Like I've been saying for the past couple of weeks, we have to worry about America. Okay. I'm not going to jump in on frills today. I'm just going to jump in and go straight for the jugular on all this stuff, because you know what? Nobody else is doing it. And it really bugs me it really bugs me that we see this go on. I'm going to be honest with you. And I'll go over the different reasons. But first of all is this. We have money to send to other countries to take care of the countries, but yet we got in our own country, we have mental illness that's very strong. Okay? Mental illness is huge in America. And mental illnesses doesn't mean that you're crazy. It just means that you realize if you have depression, that's considered mental illness. How many of you have been depressed in your life? Well, guess what? You've had mental illness. Okay? Doesn't mean you're crazy. Doesn't mean you're a lunatic. Just means that you've had depression. There's things that haven't went your way, and it messes with your mind. But mental illness has been so frowned upon for years that if people go to get help, they must be crazy. They got problems with it. They got to get medicine. They're on this. They're on that. Then we start just totally ripping people apart over it. And from what I understand, this kid had a history of this. Why in the world it wasn't dealt with? Because it was seen by teachers and other people. It was seen that he had mental illness, that he had problems. That was seen. Why it wasn't dealt with, I don't know. We're going through depression now. Yeah, America is in a great mental illness right now, depression. But anyway, getting back to these, you know, and here's the thing: some schools will have one resource officer. But if you have one resource officer, okay, and he has one magazine in his weapon, and he's got 17 shots, say, and then he's got 2 other magazines that he carries, and say you have 500 students, he's outnumbered already. There's no way he can protect everyone. If we become proactive in America, that's why I keep telling you on a day-to-day basis, look at your surroundings, see what's around you, know these people that are around you. Don't turn your back to certain people. Don't do it. Keep your head on straight. Because the America that we once knew is no longer. America has changed, and it hasn't really changed for the better. It hasn't. But here's how you come up with these solutions, okay? I've been saying this for years, and this here just proves my point, okay? You have tons and tons of veterans that are retired that are still able to operate, I'm not talking about someone that cannot function. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about someone else that has tons and tons of PTSD that would lose it dealing with kids. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people that have come back that are retired or whatever and could be a resource officer. I'm talking about retired law enforcement that would love, that would just, they don't want to get back into pulling people over and chasing people down and doing, they don't want to do that. But bringing those people back, they don't have to give them great big salaries. They can't make that much on what they're, because if they do, the government's going to take their pensions from them. I mean, come on. Hello, Clinton, Tennessee. They can't do it. But we could actually bring some of these people back and utilize them. But instead, we want to pack up billions of dollars, trillions of dollars, and send them to banana land somewhere that don't give a rat's rear end about your children at their schools. Hello, Kansas. I have suggested this for a long time. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that. Because if our children are that important, and this is what I'm going to say, remember how I keep saying, hold your delegates and all your political people, hold them accountable, ask them questions. I would start doing it, not at a school board, because at the school board, the school board is a freaking joke. Because when you go before the school board, they already have their agenda, and they already will cut you off and have the police escort you out because you just disagree with them. But you need to get with some parents and start taking up some petitions or something and address this problem in your children's schools. I have one county officer, county correction officer, and one local team in my family. That's awesome. It's fantastic. Texas, good to see you. Something has to be done. And I told you yesterday, they start crying gun control. And they already have. They already have. Biden, this is a tragedy. Something's got to be done about those guns. Because that gun got up that morning, and that gun loaded itself, and that gun hopped itself into the school, and that gun jumped up in the air and started. Give me a freaking break. The gun isn't the problem. The mental illness carrying the gun is the problem. And there's a point of being depressed, and there's a point of being extremely depressed, oppressed, can't function, all that stuff. And I'm going to be honest with you. Some of you parents, I'm about to piss you off. Some of you all are guilty as hell for throwing your kids in a bedroom with just a TV or a bunch of freaking video games and letting them play and play and play and play. And they get these games and they'll, well, my kid just plays, he can play no violent games. That's not the point. The point is he or she has no sense of real reality. They cannot function in society when they have been functioning their whole life in their bedroom with a make-believe world. But Billy loves his games. Well, let Billy love his games. But you know what? Make Billy get his butt out on his bike and go ride. Make something out of our kids. Make something out of our families. And I had this discussion with someone last night. They asking me about it. I said, listen, some of these kids, not all, some of these kids will sit there and play these games, blowing people's heads off, all that stuff, sniper games, all this stuff. And, oh, that's so funny. Oh, it's funny. Oh, I just shot him in the head. Oh, watch him. All that stuff. They think it's hilarious. And they don't realize the real impact of taking a real weapon and pulling the trigger. Because there's consequences that cannot, when you pull that trigger, we're trained. And those of you in here have law enforcement, they'll tell you, they're trained. If you're putting your hand on your weapon and you start with that commitment, you better carry it through. And if you're not in that danger to pull that weapon, and you don't have the thought of carrying that through, then don't do it. These kids don't have a freaking idea what they're doing. Now, there's some people that have been raised in the country or raised and their parents are very, very good with guns and have actually taught discipline and how to handle weapons and how to respect the power that they are, because they can take a life in just a blink of an eye. Parent them. You're not their friend. You're daggone right, Kim. You're daggone right. You cannot be their best friend and their parent at the same time. We have a generation that I don't even get it. I don't get it. They're infatuated, especially the girls. They're infatuated with going in the restroom to take selfies. I mean, seriously, someone's in there pooping and you're sitting there smiling to take a selfie that you put all kinds of filters on to make it look like you're a cartoon character. I mean, come on. That's what we have. Think about that. And these are the ones that's going to call the shots for you and me when we're too old to do it. Speaking of bathrooms, I'm going to say something. You guys, gentlemen that's listening, start washing your stinking hands. I know this is off key here, but I mean, seriously, you two, start washing your freaking hands and you go in there pee or poop or whatever. It's disgusting. And I'm going to tell you, if I ever see that, you'll know who DC is if you're out somewhere and you hear someone going, he's got pee hands, he's got pee, because I will embarrass the living crap out of you. I will. People walk in there, pee, turn around, look at themselves, wipe their face with their hands like they're brushing their hair off, and then open the door and walk out. Well, one, I don't want to touch that door handle. And two, you're disgusting. You're going to go in there and sit down in a restaurant, at a Cracker Barrel or wherever, and sit down and grab utensils and act like everything. Yeah, I went to the restaurant. You went in there and you got more dirty and you're exposing everybody else to it. And it is funny, you know what I'm saying? But it is also, too, that's my pet peeve. Start washing, have some hygiene about you. Put some deodorant on in the morning. Nobody wants to smell onions all day long. Change your socks. Nobody wants to smell Fritos all day long. Brush your hair, brush your teeth. No one wants to see last night's food still stuck in your teeth. I mean, seriously, women, you do the same thing. But you're too busy taking selfies. You're not actually going in and using the restroom. But that's the generation we got with our kids. They want to go in the restroom and do that. It's absolutely crazy. It's like, oh, come on, sissy, let's go in the bathroom. What for? Let's take selfies. Holy crap. Oh, my God. What'd you do today, Susie? Me and my friends, we went in the bathroom, took pictures of ourselves and posted on TikTok. Or Snapchat or whatever the heck it is. And here we are talking about mental illness. We need to reevaluate our families. We need to reevaluate our lives. Because, you know something? 57.8 million adults. We're not talking kids, adults in America suffer with some sort of mental illness. But you don't want to call mental illness depression. You don't want to call it oppression. You don't want to call it anxiety. Anything that messes with your mind is considered mental illness. That does not mean you're crazy. But this boy that went and shot up this school had mental illness. Everybody saw the signs. Everybody knew what was going on with him, and not a daggone person tried to help it. Oh, but somebody reached out. Give me a break. Give me a break. when you start seeing these things, you got to deal with it. That's the time when you start checking on family life, right? That's the time that you start checking on, their well-being and how are they living? Is mental illness caused because someone didn't have food at their house and they were just angry at the world? Is it because that they don't have a bed to sleep in, or is it because that the house that they live in, that their parents won't work, it's so dirty and filthy, they got bed bugs that crawl over them while they're trying to sleep? That when they come to school, that people do make fun of them because they're nasty. Is that the reason why? Research these things, find out, and fix them, America. But we're too busy. We're too busy living our own life. We're too busy running in the bathroom to take our daggone selfies. We're too busy going out to eat, not washing our hands, not having good hygiene. We're too worried about ourselves. And then when something tragic happens, like this happened with the school, got innocent people killed, then we want to take action. We want to take action now. And it's too late. You can take action further, for future. I get that. But it doesn't bring back dead people. You have families that are completely destroyed. Dreams gone because of one person and mental illness. And if I don't keep saying mental illness, somebody's going to get their panties in a wad and be emailing me and texting me. Can't believe you didn't say that. Can't believe you wouldn't do that. Because it's real, guys. It is real. It's real in America. And let me break this down to you. Some of you go, well, that just means they're crazy. Blah, 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 blah. I got some instances for you that's just going to blow you away. Okay? Since some of you are Bible thumpers and just love the religious side, I'm going to give you something. I'm just going to give you 6 people in the Bible that suffered with their mental health. Okay? How about that? Hannah, who longed for a baby. A woman who was known for her grief because she just longed for a baby because her womb was painfully empty. She was continually mocked, taunted by her husband's second wife who had children. The Bible even says she goes to the point that she weeps and weeps and weeps till she's sick and she can no longer eat. Yet her sorrow and desperation, Hannah doesn't give up on her dream. She starts seeking the Lord, and guess what? When we're facing our pain and grief and any mental illness, we need to be like Hannah. Elijah, who reached burnout. Elijah is a prophet in the Bible. And he gets to the point to where, God brought rain and drought to the land. And we're talking 3 years of this. You got Jezebel involved, all this stuff. And the Bible talks about him, how he was, we know him, he was a prophet. He was great. Yeah, but you know what? He suffered with some mental things. And I'll tell you why, because the Bible says he was terrified. He was overwhelmed. He didn't know what was going to come next because he knew nothing was going right. It was just overwhelming to him. He even got to the point that he was ready to break because he thought things were hopeless. That's Elijah in the Bible, the great prophet of God. That's right. Don't forget Job. Job, he lost everything. Yeah, and that's all you hear in Sunday school class. Oh, Job here. Favorite time says, curse God and die. All this dumb stuff. Job lost everything. Family, friends, everything. He was blaming himself. He even thought that he had done something that made God so mad at him. Yeah, he struggled with day-to-day things because of his friends, because of family, losing everything. Those of you who've been through a divorce, you know what it's like to lose almost everything, if not everything. Sometimes it's tough to start back over. But imagine losing everything, having nothing left. We're never promised that life is going to be easy, right? We're never promised that life is going to be good. A lot of people say, I don't like work. Well, that's why it's called work, W-R-K, work, because it's something you do. It is a physical thing, work. You may not like it, but you have to sometimes. David, that's another one. David was facing all kinds of things. What today we would diagnose it as depression. David in dark places, in his mental state, struggling with his feelings and having hopelessness and even depression at times. Have you ever had that? Well, the Bible is holy, but the Bible is ruthless with some of its stories too. We just want to teach of all the great things that these people, David was a man after God's own heart. He was also a murderer, a cheater, adulterer, all these things. But still, God used him. He faced things in his mind. People struggle with mental health all the way around. The one thing that's different that was with David is he's still, even in his mental state, he still chose to keep talking and crying out to God. And God delivered him. Now, this isn't a Bible study. I'm just throwing this out here just for my religious folk here. Jonah. Oh, what about that one? He had mental illness. You know why? Because he was stuck in a big old fish. There's no way that you could be stuck in the fish with all the smells, everything, and be like, man, thanks God. Thank you, God, for this vacation in paradise. Come on. He didn't want to listen to God. He did his own thing, doing his own plan. He's angry. He's got all this stuff. His anger leads him. His anger leads him to wanting to give up on his own life. How many of you have faced that in situations and be like, oh my gosh, I've faced so much stuff. How many times you come in today and you throw your purse and go, I am done. I'm giving up. I just got to go lay down. Or I got to go take a bath. I just never want to go back there. I never want to talk to that person. I just want to give up. That's how I feel today. I just want to give up. Can I tell you something? That's not physical. That's mental. Right? Doesn't mean you're crazy. It means you experience things. Let me give you this one. Jesus. This is going to blow you out of the water. Blow you out of the water. Fear and anxiety are actually two emotions that we've all felt, right? But have you ever been so worried and anxious that sweat becomes like blood on your skin? Jesus experienced that, the Bible says. He experienced it as he prayed in the Garden of Gethsemane the night before his crucifixion. Of course, Jesus always, he's always known he's going to die a painful death. That alone would cause you anxiety and probably be like, oh my gosh, and nervousness and everything else. Knowing that you're going to die and it's going to die tomorrow and it's going to be very painful. It's going to be your mind can be your worst enemy sometimes because your mind will play tricks on you. Your mind will be like, oh my gosh, all these different thoughts, all these different things coming to you. Oh my gosh, what about this? Your mind will create scenarios that never existed. It will. And Jesus even went through that. He went through things. I said that to say this, guys. We are not alone. We're not alone in any of these struggles. There's times that I go, good God Almighty, there is so much on my back right now. There's so much on my mind. There's so much going on in the world. I wish we could do this. And trust me, my friends around me are like, good Lord, have mercy. You got to sit down sometime. Just rest, just breathe. Because if I'm up in the morning, I'm up until late at night. I don't know. My body don't know when to quit. My mind don't either. It just goes. But we're not alone in these struggles, okay? But there's times that I get down. I'm like, man, I just like when I tried to log on earlier and all this crap went on. I was like, oh, give me a break. That's all I need today. I could have easily said, screw this. I'm going to go outside, or whatever. But you don't. You continue on. You carry on. Because we are, like I said a couple of weeks ago, we're not built to break. We're built to build and continue on. We learn from here's the thing. We're only going to learn from what we truly exposed. And when you realize that mental illness is a real thing, and it doesn't mean that you're absolutely a lunatic and crazy. Doesn't mean that. It means that we're human. That's why someone can be under so much stress and have a nervous breakdown. Doesn't mean they're crazy. It just means that they've had all they can handle. I've seen time after time after time people crying, DC, I can't take no more. I've been through this and this and this and this and this and this and this. And sometimes I look at it and in my back of my mind, I'm going, I think you're kind of right. But I don't say that. You know what? No. You're going to get through this. You're going to do this. And you know what? They get through it. Everybody has battles. Everybody has different ones. But we all get through it. Some people go all their life with depression. Some people go all their life with anxiety. Some people have things happen to them that cause anxiety. Doesn't mean they're crazy. But this shooting should be a wake-up call for everyone. It's one too many, and it's one too late. Because we can't change it. We have to learn from it. We don't excuse. Here's the thing. If we want to address the gun versus the illness, that's a mental illness right there. That is just a political stance. And we can't do that. We cannot do that. We have to be, hey, let's address this thing. Let's address this bear head on. I wish Trump would say, hey, let's start a new initiative on mental illness. Doesn't mean you're crazy. But, if you give it to the Democrats, it goes, oh, well, we could use this to change this law, and we can use this. This isn't about laws. This isn't about changing stuff. This is about people becoming healthy Americans. Period. We can no longer become healthy. We can't even protect our kids until we actually acknowledge the problems, face them on, find solutions, and fix it. But until then, we just wait for the next breaking news to kick on where some other person went out and did something stupid. And once again, we'll be going, it's too late to do anything. Lord, we should have. And the next day after, guess what? You got police, sheriffs, state troopers, you got everything crawling all over these schools like flies on poop. What good does it do? That shooter's not coming back. You blew him away, for God's sakes. He's not coming back. What are you trying to prove? You're just trying to make people comfortable And then once they become comfortable again, then you relax on those things. Hold your school people accountable, even school teachers. I know different states have been trying to get their school teachers to be certified and carry weapons. Not everybody, but ones that want to do it. You may have a problem with that, but you know what? I don't, because if I'm a teacher and I have a student pull out a weapon and I have no way to defend, I'm going to be running for my life. But if somebody pulls a weapon and I have a weapon, I'm able to defend myself and save classmates, then guess what? He's going to heartland real quick. It's a no given decision, guys. But we must first engage mental illness. And for so long, we haven't. We just haven't. We haven't, and it's been taboo. Just taboo to deal with that. And taboo gets us dead people. I'll be right back.
The Excellence in Online Broadcasting Network.
Hey, everybody, it's DC, and today I want to talk to you about Birch Gold Group. And we recently had some monumental news that no one else is actually talking about. And for the first time ever, the interest the U.S. pays on its debt surpassed every individual budget item except Social Security. And that's right. The U.S. Now spends more on interest than on national defense or even Medicare. And it's only getting worse as big government continues to spend recklessly. And that's why savvy Americans are turning to gold, and something not tied to the inflated dollar is what it is. And you too can help, can do this with the help of Birch Gold Group. And for over 20 years, Birch Gold Group has helped tens of thousands of Americans protect their retirement and savings by converting on IRA or the 401k into an IRA in gold. To learn more, go to birchgold.com/rumble, birchgold.com/rumble, and get a free, no obligation information kit on diversifying your retirement into a gold IRA. Birch Gold has earned a A+ rating with the BBB and thousands of happy customers. Protect your IRA or your 401k. If you want to do that, go to birchgold/rumble and get your free information kit on gold today. I wanted to say one thing here. On behalf of Rumble, I'm grateful for that. But I want to encourage you, the audience that's listening, to download the Rumble app. And that way you get the notifications every time that we go live. And also when you do that, be sure you follow us. And it will help remind you, when we do go live. And also, the app is available everywhere for TV. It's available for TVs also. So make sure you download the Rumble app. Once you download it, you search for my channel, DC Intel. It'll pop up, and follow the channel directly on that app. This will make sure that you get a notification every time that we go live, and keeps you informed. And also, if you click on the link in the description or the pinned live chat to download the Rumble app, actually on your phone, also, it's free to do that. And if you prefer to watch us on a big screen, which is pretty cool, we are also available now on Apple TV, Android TV, Fire TV, Roku, LG, and Samsung TVs. All you need to do is just search for Rumble. Once you get that, download it, search for DC Live, and every time it'll be on your big screen. Sounds great, don't it? There's nothing like a good cup of coffee. 1775coffee.com. You need to check it out. And, it's time to say goodbye to Starbucks and say hello to Rumble's 1775 coffee. It's unlike other brands. This is a coffee that backs free speech and is unapologetic about it. Visit 1775coffee.com, and you can use the promo code STUDIO to get 15% off. And the coffee comes in medium and dark roast, and it also comes in pea berry, which is also similar to the kind of coffee. And in other words, its stuff is premium. It really is. So click on the link go to 1775 Coffee and click on the link, and you can directly order from there and use the promo code STUDIO to get 15% off today.
We would like to invite you to become a DC Guardian. A Guardian is someone who supports us with a gift of $10 a month. And you will also receive a beautiful DC decal so you can post your support. And also, you will get email updates for Guardians only, plus special discounts on products and functions and conferences to come. Please click on the donate button on our eiobn.com website to support. Once again, on behalf of the Excellence in Online Broadcasting Network, thank you.
All right. Hopefully y'all didn't feel beat up about mental illness, but it bothers me. They put more police officers in our schools starting today because several schools in Alabama have gotten threats last night and this morning. Good. Not good they got threats. Good they put them in there. Let's see here. DC, I'd like to say I love your show and you're awesome. Oh, thank you so much. And the police, I understand they can't throw police out there all the time. It costs a lot of money. But there's all kinds of reservists. Trust me, there is all kinds of ways to do things. They just got to want to do it. What else we got here? I'm late. Oh, watch replay. Yeah. I have to take my daughter to the doctor and watch this. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. So, moving in a different gear now. So the pretty much the state today is mental illness plus also men with weenie hands that don't want to wash their hands. Wash their hands. It's disgusting. So anyways, so getting back to this. So yesterday, one of the things I was talking about is how Russia being involved and other countries. And I don't want you to think for 2 seconds that I was saying that Russia is just so great. You can't be sleepy on that stuff because in any quick moment, if they had the moment to jump on America, they would. Okay, let me just clarify that because they would love that more than anything. Not just Russia, other countries. Okay, I don't want us to think that. Oh well, when I did the whole thing with Putin and the ball and all that stuff, we talking about all that stuff. That's not saying that he's our best friend. Okay. That's not saying that at all. Because they're not. Okay. They're not. I don't know really how to think about this one, but Putin has endorsed Kamala Harris. The liberals with Ukraine flags in their bios are stunned. Here's Gonzales, Louisiana. Good to have you in here. I'm not sure really how to take this because it's like he's been Trump's friend, right? Supposedly. It stuns me. Nothing really, it really doesn't surprise me. You got nothing stuns me anymore. And it's not just, it ain't just me saying it. It's actually Putin himself saying, hey, I'm supporting her. I support her. And, if there can be anything, any person that I would support, it'd be her. It just blows me away. It blows me away. Alleged New York Chinese spy is just the tip of the iceberg of things, and we've already known that. We have Anthony Weiner that was with the spy. There's all this stuff goes on all the time. What about the Waltz family? Yeah. I saw that he did actually a picture with him. It's hilarious, a selfie with Tim Walt's family, and pretty much said, "Hey, they don't even like him," which is really kind of fun to see that. But yeah, I saw that. But getting back to Putin, there has to be some sort of a thing here with that, because Putin is not just going to come out after he's been supporting of Donald Trump. Okay, he's been supporting Donald Trump. I want Donald Trump. Donald Trump needs to get back in. That's who the leader is. That's who we've acknowledged the leader is. All this stuff, to now saying Kamala's your chick. It's either one or two things. It's one, he's just messing with people's minds, or either he's just or he's just off his rocker. Because that's just a real quick switch for him. JD Vance should invite them. Absolutely. What a great thing. So here we go. I'm going to play this real quick here. This is actually a reporter talking to Putin about Biden and Kamala and all this other stuff.
If we can name a favorite candidate, it used to be Joe Biden, but now he is not participating in the.
I have to cut in here. Now, you hear what he said? My favorite candidate has been Joe Biden. Since when? Reverse psychology. That's what I'm saying. Since when? Because he's always been for Trump and all this other stuff. And what's funny, this is what's funny, is remember yesterday I was saying the Biden-Harris campaign was actually, Biden-Harris campaign, the administration was saying that Russia is interfering. Yeah, with Russia collusion. I read Putin endorse Harris. Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. Yeah, I wish JD Vance would do that. Invite them to the VP debate, and actually be great if he could be sponsored by tampons, and just for Tim's sake. Actually, I saw a video today of Tim actually dancing around, and it's pretty scary. But let's get back to Putin here.
Election campaign, and he recommended to all his allies to support Ms. Harris. So that is what we are going to do. So it was, well, he said that we should, that is why we should also do that. Well, her laugh, she's laughing, her laugh is so fascinating. It means that everything is good, and if everything is good.
Her laugh is fascinating, which means everything is good. I'm speechless. Just speechless.
If we can name a favorite.
I don't understand what kind of thing he's getting at here.
Her laugh is so fascinating. It means that everything is good, and if everything is good. It means that, for instance, if we're speaking about Joe Biden, there are so many sanctions against Russia introduced, and if everything is good with Ms. Harris, maybe she'll refrain herself from such measures, or maybe she'll change them. So in the end, it will be the choice of the US people, and we will respect this choice.
He is absolutely full of crap. He is full of crap. Now, let me go back here. I want you to hear something. Let's see if I can find it here.
And if everything is good with Ms. Harris, maybe she'll refrain.
Refrain. What he is saying to her. This is your intel part. What he's saying to her. to refrain. He's sending her a very nice message. He's flattering her a little bit, but he's sending her a nice message that if by chance she would get in, she probably needs to refrain from doing anything to them with these sanctions. She needs to refrain herself from such measures, is what he said.
From such measures, or maybe she'll change them. So in the end, it will be the choice.
So in the end, it'll be the choice of the U.S. people.
Of the U.S. people, and we will respect this choice.
Well, Putin, what a name. That kind of name, he needs to be in the restroom, right? Putin. With whatever decision we make, we have made our decision, Mr. Putin, and he already knows this. He's not a fool. He's not stupid. And you wait till Donald Trump gets a hold of this. He'll say something. He'll just say something to cut a branch off Putin's tree. And it can be reverse psychology. It can be all these things. But I think he just sent, if you code that out, he's telling her he wants her to refrain from doing anything else to them. But whatever the American people decide on who they vote for, then they'll respect that. Well, they have no choice to respect it. What a dummy. You have no choice to respect who we vote in there. You have no choice. Anyways, here we go. Let's see what we got here. This is actually for all the great people that say they hate America. Okay. I hate America. I just want to leave here. Here's your choice.
Putin has just announced that Russia will offer a safe haven for those wanting to escape the liberal West with their woke agendas and weak borders and move to a country with more traditional moral values. And it's easy to do. There's no lengthy application, no
moral values. Holy snot. I'm sorry. I'll just stay in America and fight. How about that? Ain't no way I'd be going. He's out of his mind.
Waiting list, no Russian language test, no Russian history test. This is a huge development. What'll happen is you'll be issued with a 3-month visa and then a TRP, a temporary residency permit, and you will enjoy all the same benefits as a Russian citizen, like free medicine, free education, including higher education. The cost of living is relatively low, and there are some great career opportunities. And they have a path to full citizenship after a few years. I tell you, this has been a long time coming. There's been a trend of Westerners with traditional family values.
I got the solution for the migrants. We all get them, since they don't know how to read and write, right? We do all these applications for them. I don't care what their name is. We'll just give them freaking names. We'll tell them they're going to a better place where they got all these benefits for all this stuff. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And then we send all these migrants over to Russia for their free citizenship to get an education, to go over there and try to start war. And then America's not guilty for popping these people off when they're out of line. Let Putin take care of them.
Moving to Russia, mostly Christian families from the UK, Canada, America, Australia, to start new lives in Russia. It could be you. If you're fed up of living in the country where the government are determined to abolish traditional family and moral values, embracing the woke agenda, then why not? On September the 1st, Russia will release a list of countries that fall into the category of being woke and liberal. So if you live in one of those countries,
I got news for you. I ain't listening to Russia at all. You shouldn't be either. It absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Here we go. 2024, Harris and Waltz. Bring your thoughts and prayers here. School shooting in Georgia, 14-year-old suspect dead. Do you want gun reform? Red flag laws? Vote blue. No lie, I'm just looking at it right now. I'm telling you, they're going to twist this thing around. Exactly, Beyonce. Oh, it's just fantastic. Another thing is in Georgia. Of course, you know the thing where Fannie, all that junk, all the money and all that stuff. But actually, the security company that was supposedly guarding Fulton County. She has never paid them over $1 million in their contract for this last year. So therefore, today they have relinquished their protection over that, whatever you want to call it. Not only that, this goes into play for the election. This company is the same company that did the protection and made sure things were right during the election process. Isn't it funny that these people screwed America, robbed American people, and then turn around and have the nerve to get on, do a press conference and say that they were robbed by the state and they took their money and haven't given them over $1 million in their funds? It's so rewarding to see people who actually wanted to see us shut down and actually wanted to shut our businesses down, killed careers, are now asking you to help them get their money back, or even better than that, they're actually turning around and asking these politicians, hey, reelect us. Reelect us. Dems did this with an Obama second term. Absolutely. Absolutely. And of course, now Kamala Harris has it proposes a $50,000 tax break for small businesses. Here's the thing. It's the age-old story. The politician's going to stand in front of you and lie to you, tell you what they're going to do, tell you what they're not going to do, tell you that their other candidate is lying to you, they're lying to you, lying to you, and they get voted in, and guess what? They do exactly what we already thought they were doing. Absolutely nothing. So here's some more on I'm going to call Putin's best friend now, laughing Kamala. He thinks it's so great.
So for those of you voting for Kamala Harris, tell me what you think about this video.
Kamala.
So the United States shares a very important relationship, which is an alliance with the Republic of North Korea. And it is an alliance that is strong and enduring.
Obviously, this person is not, Kamala is not very smart. We do not have an alliance with North Korea. I don't know where she got that from. This is why she's not doing interviews right now. She is not intelligente.
Unless, hear me out, unless we do, or unless they do, the Biden administration, because they've had these secret alliances with China, Ukraine, and of course now Russia's their buddy. Who knows? But only time will tell. And of course, once again, Kamala.
Person in our nation has benefited from that work. You know, everywhere I go, I tell people, you may not be a union member, but you better thank unions for that 5-day work week. You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time. So, friends,
she's the worst televangelist.
Until the most election of our lives. Let's just get through the next 64 days. How about that? And you all helped us win in 2020. And in 2024, we will win again. And you all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024. Yes, we will. Well, the courts will handle that, and we will handle November. How about that? Here's the thing. The courts are going to handle that. We're going to beat them in November. We're going to beat them in November.
Okay. We're all dumbed down now that we heard her. What a fool. What a total jackass. Seriously. I heard Russia, UK, and internet is banned. I'm not sure that. I know that UK is trying to, well, they're arresting people that post stuff. So they even made a threat to the United States that they would come here and get people. And I told them to come on, that I'd kick their accent up their butt. I mean, seriously, how do you, if Donald Trump come out and he tried to act black, whatever that may be, I mean, I don't even know how they even do that. Why? I mean, we're just Americans. I'd like to see her come out and try to do a Spanish accent or Chinese or Korean. We're seeing the biggest crap show we've ever seen in our life. And she can't, and the thing is that she's busting people in for these. And you may say, oh, that's impossible. This is the news. CBS, the one that I can't stand, actually busted her, was the local station. It's the local station that did it. They actually busted her on this. And it's funny.
Well, behind me, hundreds of invited Harris supporters are leaving and boarding shuttle buses. This was a departure for Kamala Harris, leaving toss-up states to come to New Hampshire.
And the bus says Harris, Kamala Harris on it. Yeah.
We now have leaked footage from Jorge Paoletti, which is an associate legal officer in the treaty section in the UN Office of Legal Affairs. And apparently, they are terrified of Donald Trump. And the reason that they're terrified of Donald Trump is because he wants to make America great again and put America first. So let's watch this leaked video.
Well, you can't hear it now. Great. Yeah, whatever. Screw it. But yeah, they are scared of him. They're scared of him. I try to, excuse me. I try to get the audio fixed on that because it's real low. And they are scared of it. They're scared of him because they know that he's going to do exactly what he should have done the first term. The only thing I'm mad about I'm mad about Donald Trump over is the fact that he promised to drain the swamp and it didn't get done. But knowing how big the swamp is now and knowing what he had to deal with, I understand. Let me look and see what we got here. There she goes, blowing again. Absolutely. DC, I am taking another way. Looking at Putin's support, Harris. Putin is talking that the Russian interference, right, off the table. Art of the war. Well, right. And that's the psychology of it. That's the reverse psychology. You think that they're your friend and all that stuff, and sock it to you. Who knows? And maybe that's a way to get Joe Biden off his back too. So yesterday I talked about what I thought about with Trump, Vance, JFK, and Someday Barron. And I'm going to play this one more time. This is Gene Ho, and he just threw this out there, and I want you to hear this.
All righty, me and Dave Blaze talking it over. And check out this scenario. If it might happen. You never know. What's the odds? Anyway, check out the scenario. So, Trump goes to sentencing, and after sentencing, the media storm with Trump, whatever it might be. But here's the interesting thing. Could you imagine a scenario where after that, Trump replaces Vance with RFK? Could you imagine that? Think of the media storm. Think of the cold water that would be doused into the momentum of Harris Walz. Anyway, think about that also because of this, and it's very interesting. Originally, you had the scenario where once he endorsed Trump, that RFK was going to take his name off of some of the battleground states with that. Some of the battleground states said, nope, you can't do that. Well, if he's on the other ticket, they will say that they have to do that. Anyway, what do you think the odds of that's going to happen?
And he made a point there. Let me ask you this. if Donald Trump, in the sentencing of Donald Trump, why would that affect who he pulled? Why would that? This is the question. From that video and that audio there of Gene Ho saying that, this scenario, let me just throw this out here. What if Trump sentencing, blah, 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 then the media, and then he removes J.D. Vance and puts in Kennedy? What if? Let me ask you this. Let me just throw this out there to you. Why? Why would that even be an option that was thrown out there just now? Because we've all said, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I'm just giving you food for thought. We've all said J.D. Vance has given us the creeps. Just hasn't been sold on him. Haven't been sold on him. Something weird. He's also the one that also compared Trump to a Nazi and all that stuff. Remember that? What if? What if? I'm not saying he is, so don't go saying DC said, because I'm not. I'm saying what if? What if Vance has a hand in what's been going on here? What if? Seems awful crazy to me. Hey, we've seen worse. Had Obama in there. Everybody else. Let me see here. What's somebody saying here? This Cheney Ming tweet. Kamala Harris is a radical liberal who would raise taxes, take away guns, health. Absolutely. Absolutely. And not only that, they're really trying right now to do something to the Supreme Court. They're trying to remove any other options that would be available, not even for Donald Trump, for the American people. And when our political leaders have other agendas that are secret agendas, number one, and they want to do things that are going to secretly take away our rights or take away our abilities to change things. Do you realize if they got their hands into the Supreme Court, if they did what AOC wanted them to do, impeach them, get them out? It's nuts. 9/11 was an inside job, and Liz Cheney and Dick was. How do I feel about 9/11? Yeah, I do believe. There was. We'll go over that someday. It's just so detailed. I do know this. 9/11's coming up, and sad part about it is these kids that are in the bathrooms taking selfies don't even know what it is. I've been making a point to write down experiences that I've personally been in that history has went down in, that I've not been a part of, but I've been around it. From George Bush Jr. being inaugurated, a bunch of stuff in DC. And not only that, 9/11, I was there on 9/11. I was trapped there on 9/11. I was supposed to be in the building, World Trade Center building, and I overslept. I was one of those people that overslept. Maybe 9/11, our show will be not a depressing part about 9/11, if you can find a good spot in it, but maybe we'll really talk about it, really dive in and talk about it. And I'll tell you this. 9/11 had happened. I finally get back home. And before I got back home, there was a video. I believe it was the night of, or the night, I'm not sure if it was the night of 9/11 or when but anyways, George W. Bush Jr., he gets out there. And he's out there standing. Yeah, it was the night of. And he's out there standing on the rubble addressing everyone that was cleaning, trying to find bodies, trying to find survivors, trying to just survive in this horrible, horrible, horrible attack on our mental status of America. Because if you can attack its mental status, screw the economy. You don't have to worry about that. We'll destroy it ourselves. And at that moment, I thought, man, this is so great. It made me proud to be an American, to see my president standing out there. And then when I found out the truth about 9/11, let me just tell you this. I don't feel that way. I don't feel that way still. We'll go in detail someday. Some, it'll blow you away, and some, it won't. What are they saying here? Let's see. Patrick Cunha. Yeah, I know who that is. Yeah, died on 9/11. Yeah. 9/11, they told us it was going to, and I said I wasn't going to get into it, but I got to say this. We were told that it was an attack because they thought that all of our finances and all that stuff for America was in that building. And America bought that story. And it was bull crap. It's total bull crap. Understand this. A lot of people that were taken out that day were very important people in America. Counterterrorism, a ton of stuff. These were calculated attacks upon the American people by American people. You don't have to believe me, but I can prove the living crap out of it. I can prove it till the day I die. And not only me, thousands and thousands of others. The reason why our children are not taught about these things in history, if they even do that class anymore, is because they can't tell stories, because they can't tell the truth about them. Because the truth is they're the ones that did it. A lot of people died. A lot of innocent people died. I will never forget waking up because what was going on, getting woke up, running outside with a couple of the guys and watching people jump to their death. Horrendous. Horrendous. And that's what made me up and to do what I'm doing here today. I made sure that I really dived into intelligence and things that I wanted to help change this country. But when you realize he knew too much, you're daggone right. There's several people it was like that. And I personally knew a doctor that was on a plane, was killed. And he was someone that he wasn't even a cancer doctor. Let me just say that. But him and a couple other doctors had a cure for cancer. Anyway, I'm going to get off that because I could go on that. We've been on here 6-7 hours and I ain't doing that. Tomorrow, shoot your questions to me. Go through our website. Shoot your questions to me. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer as much as I can. I want to make Friday about you guys. We were going to try to have the phones available, but it's just not not with, it's just so unstable right now with Rumble. We'll figure it out. But anyway, throw your questions to me, get those to me. That way we can start getting those together and figuring out what we're going to do and talk about. And we'll also stay on current events that's going on also and touch on these things. Hopefully you guys had a good time today. Keep your mind straight, your heart's right. Pray for America. We need it. Pray for these families that have lost their kids in these stupid shootings. Meanwhile, the shooting goes on and everybody completely stops talking about the supposedly migrants stealing everything, taking over the buildings, right? Except for Chicago. Chicago's pretty blunt about it, blowing people away on the streets. Oh, well. Anyway, have a great day, and I will see y'all tomorrow. God bless you, and God bless America. DC out.